Hi, Brendan. How you doing? All right, let's go and take a look at your. Give me a few different good. Okay, let's see what we have. Let's jump right in here and take a look. Okay, I think this is really interesting. There's a couple of signals that are a little crossed here, though, and I think one of the things is the horns, because right now this is starting to look more like a water buffalo. And water buffaloes, I don't know if you know, they're those ones with those big curled horns that have the big balls right on the end right here. So this isn't really indicative of a bull's horns. It's more indicative of a water buffalo. And I think that's a little confusing. What I would recommend is taking a look at take a look at the Chicago Bulls logo and just take a look at some images and some illustrations of bulls themselves to see if you can get an idea of how to depict these horns in more of a realistic fashion and more congruent with the anatomical structure of a bull and less to that of a water buffalo. Hope that makes sense. This is an interesting concept with the monocle. I think that's called, a monocle, right? And so I think it's pretty interesting. Now, a couple of things I would recommend is that this kind of looks like a stick. Now, aren't these usually you see them there, you got the monocle in there, it's attached with a chain, and the chain usually comes down to like a pocket or something, like a collar or something. So this looks like a stick, so I would recommend that we change that into some sort of a chain. I don't know how you'll end that or what you'll do to have that end, if you see what I'm saying? So you'll have to work that out. I think that to a degree you could make this look more like it's some sort of a monocle and less like a circle on the end of a stick. I hope that makes sense. I don't mean to sound discouraging at all. I just really, really want this to be recognizable. I would not use this black and these shades of gray because there's no contrast involved. So if we reduce the size, for example, you can see that everything kind of turns into a black blob. So this area right here is no longer defined, nor are the horns. It all appears to be one black silhouette. So keep that in mind. Consider adding color other than black to create the necessary contrast to be able to delineate those visual markers successfully, so that it doesn't look like it's just all one solid color. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so this, on the other hand, I think it's also very interesting. I think that monocle, it does depict kind of curious, like I'm going to take a closer look at this. So I get it. I totally get it. But again, we just have this dashed line right here that it just doesn't seem like this is an actual monocle. I think that's what they're called. It's that one eyeglass that you guys got us. I mean, you don't see them hardly at all anymore, but they were quite prevalent in the 30s and in the 40s, and specifically with men. So think about how you will depict that, and maybe we can even just jump out to the internet. We'll do a quick search here. And let me show you what I'm getting at here. My computer is crashing out right in front of our very eyes. Okay, hang on one second. Over here, and I did this Google search monocle. It's MONOCLE, and you can see some really interesting. I think that's a really interesting way to go. That would be an interesting way to go. Is you see the difference between that, where it's really super recognizable, and this, where it maybe not quite so much. So my recommendation is to just go through here. That's interesting, very interesting. That's interesting. So go through here and see if you can get some ideas, and maybe we can apply some of those ideas to make this more recognizable as a monocle with a chain on the end, and also to make this more recognizable as well as the bull itself. Okay. All right. So those are my recommendations moving forward into your submission for your milestone 2 submission. So if you have any questions or you would like further clarification, please let me know. I'll be glad to provide that. All right, good job. Thank you very much.